This was not the result that I necessarily wanted, but I feel great. When you participate in democracy, sometimes it doesn't turn out the way you want it to.
Louisiana sent a clear message that they want a candidate to represent them in the Senate who will always put America first and never turn her back on Louisiana voters.
Louisiana Congresswoman Julia Letlow claims victory for America first as Senator Bill Cassidy becomes the first elected GOP senator to lose renomination since 2012 after President Trump's involvement backing Letlow. Let's bring in Republican strategist Luke Ball and former director of message planning under President Joe Biden, Megan Hayes. So, Megan and Luke, it sounds like Donald Trump's still got it. What happened in Louisiana last night, Megan?
Look, I think that this is what happens in the Republican Party when you go against Donald Trump. The unfortunate part here is that Democrats are willing to put up candidates that make sense to moderates and independents, so they're going to lose more seats, and this is how you lose the House and you can lose the Senate if you're not careful with these extreme candidates. They answer to the American people. They don't just answer to Donald Trump.
And, Luke, it seems like the Congress, now that Cassidy is going to be retired, it seems like Congress is running out of Republicans who are not in complete alignment with Donald Trump. Do I have that right?
Well, I'd submit it's not just complete alignment with Donald Trump, but in complete alignment with the will of the American people, because this president won overwhelmingly the Electoral College, the popular vote, did it twice, and he is in charge of not only the Republican Party, but I think the American people's comeback. It's a rebellion against the establishment, because for too long, these people get in there, they serve multiple terms, 12 years and 2 terms like Senator Cassidy has done, and they forget about the people that sent them there in the first place. And so now the Republican Party, under Donald Trump's leadership, has turned back to the working man and woman, the ones that have been forgotten for too long. And I would submit is why the Democrats are not polling very well, are not doing very well heading into the midterm elections, because they keep forgetting to listen to the American people and instead go along with their radical policies.
And Megan, well, I want to ask both of you, but I'll start with Megan. There are some other Republican lawmakers that Donald Trump is actively endorsing against, particularly Thomas Massie in Kentucky. What does last night's result tell you about how much trouble Massie is in?
Yeah, I mean, it's upsetting that one person can dictate a race and take away the will of the people. And, primaries are traditionally turn out the base of parties. But I do think, Louisiana did some dirty politics, as Senator Kennedy was alluding to in your previous segment, where they made the primary close and did some other things that even he said his voters were not really super happy about. So it does not bode well for people who stand up to Donald Trump. But the problem here is that Democrats have overturned 30 state legislators this cycle since 2024, where Republicans have done zero to flip any. And also they've won or overperformed in 266 out of 295 races. So you talk about the will of the people. I think that is showing people in their communities that they would prefer Democratic policies over Donald Trump's policies.
And Luke, what do you think? Can any Republican, Massie or now the president's mad at Lauren Boebert too, can any Republican survive going up against another Republican that has Donald Trump's support?
I think the president is totally in charge of the Republican Party. It's yet to pan out who's going to win in Massie's seat. But I think that when my friends on the left say that Republicans are playing dirty politics or that they are under the MAGA cult, as I've heard some people say, I think they mistake that for unity. We have not seen unity in the Democrat Party for a long period of time. I think that if they had a leader, if they had policies that were actually put up in opposition to the Republicans, then they might see any sort of success, or they might see some traction, but they haven't seen that in a long period of time. So this Republican Party is unified under the president, under the MAGA agenda. And if folks step out of line with that, I think they're going to feel the consequences in their own states.
And somehow when we talk about the other side, the main figurehead of the Democrats is Kamala Harris. And she is now saying that when it comes to something like expanding the Supreme Court and filling it with liberal justices, there are no bad ideas. And some Democrats here in D.C. agree. Listen to this.
I mean, it's a message I've had for quite a while. We need transparency and accountability on the Supreme Court. It has been expanded in the past to reflect the changes in population. That's not a crazy idea. That's been done throughout the history of our country.
Megan Hayes, court packing. Is it a crazy idea?
I mean, it's interesting to hear that Congress is talking about this when they don't actually decide this, so I don't know why they'd make that a campaign slogan. So I do think that people are tired of a two-tiered system of justice. I think that they don't think that the courts or the government is working for them. So I think Democrats are throwing things out there that they think might be appealing to their coalition, but I think it will, it's yet to be seen if it is a good idea or a bad idea. And I'd also push back that Kamala Harris is the leader of the Democratic Party. I think she has the most name ID right now, so I would give that some time to also play out.
I would ask then, and maybe Luke, you can help us with this. Where are she might not be the official leader, but where are the other Democratic Party thinkers? Why is somebody who was rejected in every battleground state only 2 years ago the only one who is out there getting traction with these big ideas?
Right now, the leaders are with the squad, the progressive wing of the Democrat Party. The moderates have been held hostage to them for years, and it seems like that's the direction the party is going. And I love this Kamala Harris no bad ideas thing. It's like standing in front of a whiteboard and saying, throw up anything that you could possibly think of here because we have to get some alternative to what the Republicans are offering. This is not the brainstorming phase that the Democrats should be in. This is execution phase. It's like you're in the middle of the Super Bowl. You're at halftime, and the coach is standing there with a white board behind him, completely empty, an expo marker, and asks the team members, got any good ideas? It makes me feel pretty confident heading into the midterm elections that the Democrats are just unified in opposition against President Trump. And we have seen time and time again that's not played out well for them in elections. They have to actually have policies that have substance, that have leadership. They have none of those things, and now they're just holding Zoom meetings so that they can crowdsource ideas for their next election win.
Luke Ball, Megan Hayes, thank you both for joining the Sunday briefing.
Thank you.